Jaya Radha Madhava Girivaradhari Jaya Radha Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Rama Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Rama Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Namaste. Krishna Krishna Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Rama from the chapter 23rd shlok 23rd sorry, third canto 23rd chapter. अस्मि हृदये निमज्जास्मिन् हृदये विमानम् इदमारुता इदं शुक्लकृतम् इत्थम् आशीषां व्यापकं नृणाम् निमज्जास्मिन् हृदये विमानम् इदमारुता इदं शुक्लकृतम् आशीषं व्यापकं नृणाम् निमज्जास्मिन् हृदये विमानम् इदमारुता इदं शुक्लकृतम् आशीषां व्यापकं नृणाम् निमज्जास्मिन् हृदये विमानम् इदमारुता इदं शक्रम् इदम् आशीषं व्यापकं नृणाम् निमज्जास्मिन् हृदये विमानम् इदमारुता इदं शुक्लकृतं तीर्थम् आशीषां व्यापकं नृणाम् निमज्य after this asmin in this Hrade, Gadik, Bhiru, O fearful one, Vimanam, airplane, Idam, this Aruha, ascend, Idam, this Shukla Kritam, created by Lord Vishnu, Tirtham, sacred lake, Ashisham, desires, Yapakam, bestowing, Pranam, of translation and purport by Abhay Taranaravi, Swami Srila Prabhupada said, my dear Deva, you look very much afraid. First bathe in this Sarovara created by Lord Vishnu himself, which can grant all the desires, and then mount this for food. It is still the go to places of cremate and take a bath in the water there. In Vrindavan, the people take baths in Yamuna, other places such as Prayaga, take baths in Ganges. The word Tirtham Ashisham Yapakam refer to the movement of desire by bathing the Kardama Muni advised his wife to bathe the Sarovara so that she could revive the former and luster of the body. First of all, thank you for this opportunity. This person is not coming to the morning program, but an opportunity to speak. Maybe it gives an opportunity to come. So please bless that. I don't commit that. I participate in morning program.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranams. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranams. Sorry to interfere. We are unable to hear on Zoom.
Shigarangi, they're using someone's hotspot, I guess. That's why it's very bad.
Oh, okay, Mataji.
Because the internet isn't working, so that's what I messaged Prabhu is there. So.
Oh, okay. Okay, thank you, Mataji.
Someone forgot to unmute the phone. Okay, I think everyone muted it. Okay, so this is a very so many lessons in this conversation, beginning from the conversation of Kardama Prajapati, Kardama Muni, and then in the Lord, and then also Swayambhuva Manu to Kardama Muni, and now Kardama Muni to Devahuti. So first thing I was meditating on when I was reading this, that when a person is trained in a system, then that system gradually elevates that person to a very high level. Like for instance, Devahuti. From the beginning to the end, we can see Devahuti did not, her conception of marriage itself was not for the sake of enjoyment. And when Swayambhuva Manu talks to Devahuti about the qualities of Kardama Muni, she becomes very excited. And what are those qualities? Does he have a big bank account or a big bank balance or nothing of that sort? She becomes really excited. And that is the parentage of Swayambhuva Manu. The parentage of Swayambhuva Manu. Like that system makes it so easy for someone to become Krishna conscious. So what system am I talking about? The system, how I raise my daughter, or how I treat my husband. Like we see this in Sudhama, we were reading Sudhama Charitra, we can see that Shukadeva Goswami describes Sudama's wife as a pativrataya, which means she's ready to observe the vratam that the pati is willing to follow. And this is the same for any system, that it is not easy to be a part of the system consistently. For instance, the guru is going to the the guru is going to the disciple, and it is very difficult for the disciple to actually tolerate all the austerities of the guru. It is very difficult for the wife to tolerate all the austerities of the husband. It is very difficult for the children to tolerate all the austerities of their parents. But if there is a system, where I can be trained in such a way that this is normal in my society, right? When only some things are normal, then I will do it without question, or immediately there will be a doubt whether this is right or wrong. So Devahuti, I mean, my point here is Devahuti was trained in a society by Swayambhuva Manu, where it was very normal for her. Very normal for her. So in the initial passages, we see that she was basically tolerating everything. Visrijya kaman dambham cha dvesham lobham aham madam apramadothyata nityam tejiyamsam atoshayate. She satisfied Kardama Muni. Visrijya kamam dambham. She gave up pride and kamam. Chadvesham lobham agam madam. She gave up greed, she gave up envy, she gave up all sinful activities, she gave up vanity. Apramata udyata nityam tejiyamsam adosha. And she labored diligently and tejiyamsam. Why? Because her husband was a tejius, a very elevated person. And because of that, she satisfied undergoing all austerity. And this is the same system, whatever Devahuti is going through. It's the same system for a disciple as well. It is no different for a disciple. And it is no different for any inferior to please a superior. So this is the system. And because of that, now, see, Kardama Muni, rewards come later. Yad agre vishamiva parinami amko Krishna saying Bhagavad Gita. The spiritual happiness is yad agre vishamiva. Initially, it is very painful. Parinami amritopamam. Later, it is very nectarian. So Devahuti tolerated all the austerity, and Krishna is so merciful, and Kardama Muni is so merciful. He could sense, like Prabhupada said, you're all undergoing a lot of austerity. So Prabhupada said, in India we don't have such beautiful concrete buildings to stay. So stay in concrete buildings, though you are a monk. So Prabhupada is creating this system where he's making things easier for us, or easier for me, so that I can perform austerity very easily. Similarly, Kardama Muni, is also doing the same for his wife, Devahuti. And we can see how all the material desires and the spiritual desires are completely being satisfied because she served her superior. And that is the immediate part of an action item I can have. I mean, I can think that I want Krishna Prema, I want to have taste in chanting. Whenever I come before Shri Radha Gopi Jana Vallabha, Shri Kadita Pavan Gaura Hari, I can actually see their forms as Krishna themselves, Radharani and Krishna themselves. So all this is there. But what I understood from here is that the most immediate part of the duty I have is what is called dharma. Dharma is where is the most immediate part of the duty. I mean, so Devahuti is immediate, in her immediate vicinity. She didn't think about Krishna. She didn't think about, in the sense, in a very explicit way, her sankalpa was not that I must get Krishna Prema, or I must, be this person in the Gaura Leela, or I must be this person in Krishna Leela. Her sankalpa might not be that big, So she asks those questions when she's talking to Kapila Muni, right, her son. But her immediate function, her immediate duty was that I will serve my husband. And whatever austerities he undergoes, I will just focus all my energy, all my time, all my momentum there on. Because it is very difficult to actually, for the intelligence to meditate on many things. The intelligence to meditate on the ultimate goal, it's also okay. But for it to meditate on so many things, the intelligence is very difficult. So the Shastra is making it very easy your most immediate function, whatever it is, there is a system in Dharma where if you simply do that, there will be a connection to Krishna by virtue of that system. I will focus my attention there only. If I'm a brahmachari, I'll focus all my attention to serving my spiritual master only. Krishna is telling to Sudama, yata guru shushrushaya yatha. So naham ijyam, not by worship, not by this, not by that. I won't be satisfied by anything. Guru shushrushaya yatha, by satisfying the spiritual master, how I am satisfied, I won't be satisfied by anything else. In this way, Krishna is telling to Sudama. But I'm saying, so this is the immediate thing that the spirit, that the disciple is seeing. And if he just puts his energy, time, momentum, thinking, feeling, willing, planning. I mean, that's the most important thing, planning, because the function of intelligence is to plan. If I put my planning there, then automatically all my desires are getting satisfied. Automatically. So Devahuti is putting all her energy into how to simply serve Kardama Muni, because that is Tri Dharma. I was told by Swayambhuva Manu that Tri Dharma is, I have to satisfy my husband, and the husband must be Tejias. And Kardama Muni ticking point, okay, Tejias tick. I will simply focus my energy there, everything will come. And because of that, she had an opportunity to hear from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Wow. She had an opportunity to serve by hearing from Kapila Muni. Wow. To hear from Kapila Muni and put questions to him. And she's saying, Samsara Taro Kutharam, you are the axe which cuts my material life. Please, Samsara Taro Kutharam. It's very difficult. Imagine an old lady, talk to any old lady in today's time. Well, any old lady asks, except maybe very pure devotees, very sincere devotees, by the efforts of Divine Grace of Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, we see this. Or else old ladies are okay, fine, I'll just go by. Who's going to ask to the sun, Samsara Taro Kutharam? I want to get out of this material world. I mean, I do not know. I do not know. Please liberate me. Kapila Dev, please. I don't see any other thing. You are the axe that cuts my worldly life. Please cut my axe, cut my worldly life. Who's going to ask that question? Wow. How did that become possible? Because of our undeviated service to her superior. It's very simple, actually. The Varnashrama Dharma makes it actually very simple. The system makes it very simple so that I don't have to worry about too many things. The system is the system is made such that I don't have to worry about multiple things, and my responsibility is to be a good part of that system. If I mess it up, right, then the whole system gets messed up. Say I'm a husband. So instead of being a Tejias and guiding my wife, say I abuse my wife. Now the whole system goes in. Now this person will never have any trust towards a male again, whoever my wife is. This person abused me. Same thing for a sannyasi. A sannyasi is meant to have renunciation. Sannyasi is meant to have austerity. Now, I mean, I saw a news recently. 1 week back, there was a ruling against a certain sannyasi because there was an abuse by this child, this, that. Is no longer a sannyasi, became a brahmachari now. There was this ruling. I do not know if you are aware or not, but I was just meditating on that point. Like, this abuse of position happened. Now, whoever got abused by that, they will have the thinking, oh, this person abused me, sannyasi is bad, any spiritual society bad, ISKCON bad. That thing will go into their mind. It will go very strongly because that single part of the system got abused. Single part of the system got abused. Now everyone will lose trust in their whole life, or maybe even their multiple lifetimes. Oh, if I go to ISKCON, I know this person who gave a lecture, he talks so many things, but private life, I saw him. That I went to home that other day. What was it? You lose trust in anyone who's speaking Srimad Bhagavatam. And if I don't act properly, whomever is speaking Srimad Bhagavatam, that person will lose trust. So I am the cause of Ashraddha Dhana. I actually gave him faithlessness by my own conduct. So any person who's not actually a part of this Varnashrama Dharma proper is actually causing violence to the society. And any person who's a part of this Varnashrama Dharma properly. I might not go door to door, preach, give books. I might not be a great preacher on YouTube having 2 million views. Or I might not have an Instagram reel. People are looking at me, and whenever I go there, they garland me. This might not happen. But I'm actually doing a great seva to the society by simply doing whatever I am there, wherever I am. If I'm actually doing that system properly, taking care of that system, like for instance, I'm a grasta, what is my duty? My duty is to take association of people who are very renounced and get their association so that they can purify me of my material attachments. That is my duty. That is my duty. And I should take care of my children and my wife so that they're also connected to those sadhus. I connect both of them as being a middle person. And then by my own swadhyaya, by my own practice, I cultivate this mood of spiritual life in my house. If I don't do that, so if I don't do that, then immediately I am a part, I'm a reason for which the system is being disconnected now. I'm the reason now. This whole system goes waste now. See, imagine, like we're talking about women's freedom movement. So why is this women's freedom movement? Is it like, all women are bad, or like, they all went mad in Kali Yuga? No. The men abuse their position to some extent, or maybe more extent, depending on time, place, and circumstance. And because of that, women thought, why depend on these useless men? I will become independent. I have my own salary. I will have my own job. And because of that, what happens? They become more busy than they have to be. And they become less busy with taking care of their children. They're forced to, because children are getting less time. And because children are getting less time, they're getting addicted to YouTube, there's so many things. And because they are going to be worse fathers in the next generation. They're going to abuse their wife or this or that because of lack of care from their parents. Now, the parents don't have any time, they fight with each other. The children see that. See, one small mistake by the male, see the chain of consequences. See the chain of consequences. And one proper use by Kardama Muni to the Swayambhuva Manu's training to Devahuti. Devahuti is getting liberated and they are reading. She was featured in Srimad Bhagavatam. Featured in Time magazine. The Devahuti's story is featured in Srimad Bhagavatam and we are reading in Kali Yuga 2022. Right? Amazing. Right? So one person says Varnashrama Dharma is a very expert system. It's an amazing system actually. And the more and more I follow the rules of the system, my life will actually become very simpler. If I strictly adhere to these rules, and if everyone adheres to these rules, of course, with a focus on Krishna, not for the sake of rules, but for the sake of connecting to Krishna, because it was enjoined by Krishna, then what happens? I am naturally connected to Krishna without any extraneous effort from my part, and it becomes easy. That is what we want. We don't want spiritual life to become very difficult. Right? What is the use of saying to a Grasta, you have to leave all your wife? It's very difficult. It's not practical. It's not practical. I can say you are very attached householder. You can say this. You can say everything you want. But practically speaking, I must give him something he can do so that he can perfect his life in a very easy way. So someone can talk on a lecture, chant 64 rounds, chant 48 rounds. But the system is not there in the house where he can chant. Now, what can he do? While listening to the lecture, he will always feel this is all true, but in my case, it is not possible. In my case, it is not possible because my husband is like that, because my wife is like that, because my children are like that. If I start reading Srimad Bhagavatam, my children will start playing and they will not like it. My papa take it somewhere else. I'm very bored. So the system is very, very important. No one can say, I will do what I want. I'm not a part of the system, except an avadhuta maybe. If I'm an avadhuta, then I'm not a part of it. Right? Everyone else is a part of the system, be it a sannyasi or a brahmana or a vaishya or a married person or a corporate person or anyone is a part of the system. And if I do my duty to the system properly, then so many problems are solved. But I can actually hide and I can justify my breach of the system by hiding behind Krishna consciousness also. It is possible. So what can I say? All the system is not important, Prabhuji. Kali Yuga. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama eva kevalam. Kalo nasteva, nasteva, nasteva katiranyata. You can hide behind all the breach of the system. All this will not work in Kali Yuga, Prabhuji. This is not practical. The husband will not listen to the spiritual master. The wife will not listen to the husband. The children will not listen to the parents. Kali Yuga, Prabhuji. Hare Rama eva kevalam alone will work. You can, justify my tamoguna, justify my indifference, bring Hare Krishna mantra. That's what. Use Hare Krishna mantra as my shield. Use this shloka as my shield. But the thing is, it will become very impractical. It will become very difficult. It will become very difficult to chant Hare Krishna mantra. Grihe tako, vane tako, sada hari bole tako. It will become very difficult. Right? Grihe tako, how is it possible? Vane tako, if I'm going to Vane tako, then, commercial system, city planning is expanding their city. Then Vane tako will not be possible because there is no system, this thing on Varna Ashrama Dharma. And Grihe tako, there is fighting going on. There is busy. I'm talking for myself. There are meetings. Someone is pinging me at 8 o'clock in the night. Then Grihe tako, where is it possible? I have to go and then Grihe tako, laptop tako. And what can I do? I cannot do Sada Hari Bole tako because the system is not there. System is not there. So Devahuti was brought up in that system. What is that system? She was told, if your husband is qualified, serve him. Unequal. Prabhupada did not compromise on Stri Dharma. Many devotees find it very difficult to accept, and that is very rightly so, again, because of the system is not there. If I'm talking about Stri Dharma, if I'm a good husband, there is a good example of a man in the house, then it is easy to accept Stri Dharma. Very bad example of man, I talk about Stri Dharma. Immediately, I cannot accept that. I cannot accept that. I'm talking about Guru. Imagine, I'm talking about the greatness of a Guru. Now, a devotee is coming inside. His Guru fell down. In the sense, his Guru got into something and she fell down. I'm talking about the greatness of a Guru. This person in the mind, he will say, okay, he's talking about, simply this is all institutional. Simply they talk. Nothing of it is practical. This will not work. Right? This will not work. Why? He's not able to believe. He's not able to believe. He can come and he can listen, but he cannot believe. Same thing with parents. Children have to listen to the parents. What is it? All this is not there. So, the Kali Yuga is such that it makes it so difficult to believe in the words of Shastra pertaining to its immediate activities on Dharma. Krishna, Supreme Personality of Godhead, I agree. I agree. Serve your spiritual master, I don't agree. Serve the husband, I don't agree. Serve your parents, I don't agree. Serve your elders, don't agree. Internally, I'm saying for myself. Because it is the most immediate thing I can do. It's the most immediate thing. When I go back home, what can I do? I can remember my spiritual master's words, or I can remember Shyam Kishore Prabhu's words. And I can follow that. That much I can do. If I associate with them, who are representatives of, my Guru, and because they are spending more time on spiritual life than I do. I'm spending time on automotive technologies every day. Like I'm spending 8 hours. Shyam Kishore Prabhu is reading Chaitanya Charitamrita for those 6 hours. Now, who will know more about spiritual life, me or him? He will know more. So what should I do? I should listen to him. Is it not? This is very practical, right? A grihastha should listen to someone who's renounced. Very natural, very practical. So is there taratamya or not? There is taratamya. How can there not be any taratamya? There must be gradation in the society. There is gradation. If we are not systemating that gradation, there will be confusion. There is gradation. One person is great, another person is low. This is vastavam. This is yathatmyam. This is true. If I don't accept that gradation, that is called dishonor. That is called pride. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. This is not humility. Humility means to accept, yes, this person is higher than me. Why is he higher? Why is he higher? Because he's spending more time for spiritual life than I am. He has sacrificed more for spiritual life than I have. Because of his sacrifice, he's higher. I am not so great. I'm not able to sacrifice. Or if I'm sacrificing my Lakshmi, that is also good. But I'm not sacrificing my Lakshmi. So, in this way, there is taratamya, there is gradation There is gradation. I have to accept. Sve dharmani avirataha samsiddhim labhate naraha. Swakarma nirataha siddhim. Swakarma nirataha. If you are swakarma nirataha, siddhim vindati manavaha. So this is there. So Devahuti followed it perfectly. And Kardamani is telling, this is the palace. This is your beautiful body. The rewards are coming. The material rewards are coming. But Devahuti, when it's coming also, she's not happy. She's not saying, now very good, pounce upon them. No, not like that. Same thing with Sudama's wife. Sudama's wife, when she saw all this richness, she started crying because of Krishna's love. Wow, Krishna is so merciful. People in this material world, they don't give anything. And they say, I gave. And Krishna gave so much. And he did not even say, I'm giving it to you. Krishna did not even utter one word that I'm giving something to you. And he gave so much. Wow. And speaking about that, Sudama's wife is crying. She has so much. Imagine I'm going into a new house. Housewarming ceremony. How will I feel? Very proud. I feel very proud. But a devotee will actually cry in gratefulness. Wow, Krishna has given me this so that I can serve devotees. Right? So in this way, it is like, the system is so important. The system is so important that if I abuse the system, I abuse my position, it is a violence towards the whole world. It's a violence towards the whole world if I abuse. But if I'm a part of the system properly, then I'm doing the best service I can to society. I'm doing the best service to the society, best possible. So this is important, to understand. And the more and more I understand this and practice this, then there will be naturally peace in society. And or else what will happen is, I'll have to be, in a Kali Yuga especially, we see the juniors have to appease the superiors have to appease the juniors. The children have to, parents have to appease the children. If the parents keep on appeasing the children, how can you elevate the children? How can you elevate the junior? The monks have to appease the grastas now. Because it's the nature. And then what happens? The monks are not able to say truth. Because you're appeasing the grastas. Because money is coming from there. Right? I mean, I'm not saying this thing, but I'm saying generic. And the same thing, the husband, the person who's working has to appease the boss. Or he has to appease the wife. Whatever the wife says, he has to appease. And the children, the parents have to appease the children. Whatever the children want, the parents, in order to, I should be a good parent, so I have to appease. So if I'm appeasing my junior, how can I listen to my superior? If my intelligence is constantly thinking, because everything is buddhi yoga, everything is based on intelligence. What am I meditating on? What am I planning for? This is what is happening every moment. Every moment, what am I doing? I'm planning something. Is it not? Every moment, I'm planning something. So based on my direction of planning, I make advancement. So what am I planning every moment? If I'm planning every moment how to stay on to the instruction of my superior, then I'm pure. But if my intelligence is constantly thinking, oh, my junior, oh, my children are going to be very unhappy that I'm not a good parent, somehow appeal, then I can't, my intelligence cannot do multitasking. It is viruddha dharma. It is not possible. Anyonya viruddham. There is viruddham here. I cannot do this now properly. This is what is happening in Kali Yuga. Everyone has to appease someone. The politicians have to appease the subjects, but they are not able to impart the subjects. The Kshatriya has to actually do shasanam to the citizens. That is the nature of a Kshatriya. But if you do shasanam, there will be 5 media, and then they will know what are you doing. You can't, because of the system. The system, no one can do shasanam. And you have to appease the citizens. You have to give free this, you have to give this, you have to give that. So many things you have to give. You have to appease them. You have to appease them. Everywhere there is appeasement. Everywhere there is appeasement. And everyone is thinking, what can I get next? This is not dharma. This is not varnashrama dharma. Varnashrama dharma is constantly thinking based on my intelligence how to serve my superior. And every person has to do this duty properly in the whole system for the system to work properly. Just like, for instance, my hand is not working properly. The system itself has gone to, like, I want to sleep now because his hand is not working properly. My throat infection, throat only infection, right? Your hand can move, right? Throat is infected, right? Hand also is not able to move. You're immediately, asleep. Similarly, one part of the system goes bad, the whole system goes bad. The whole system goes bad. So it is difficult maybe to imagine a situation where we can implement the system in a worldwide level or something, but at least at my home level, I can practice this on my own personal basis. If I'm a husband, I should be a good husband. If I'm a male, I should be a good male. If I have a certain varna direction, I must do that. By doing so, I will make it easier for the other person to follow this. To give you an example, Shyam Kishore Prabhu is a perfect brahmachari. Imagine. Now, not imagine, and think like that. So now, because of his perfectly following his varna, his ashrama, now he will make me guilty about being a bad grahastha. He's a good brahmachari. Now I'll feel bad when I see a good brahmachari because I'm not a good grahastha. But you say the brahmachari itself is bum. Everyone is like that only in Kali Yuga. What to do? I can easily justify, and then hide here. Now I can't hide. If I'm in his association, I can't hide. Or Prabhu's association, anyone. I can't hide behind. So in this way, by being myself a good example of that ashrama, of that varna, then naturally I make it easier for the other person to come to wherever they belong. And in this way, if everyone follows their varna, Stree acts like a Stree. Stree doesn't think, oh, I also have to work 70 hours. You're working 60 hours, I'll work 70 hours. Competition. Right? Two separate bank accounts. Your bank account, my bank account. Why two separate bank accounts? One bank account. That's all. Two separate bank accounts. Because I'm not having freedom. Right? So this way, it is, I'm not saying blaming one person. The whole system is to blame. Right? So because it becomes difficult. It becomes difficult to trust because this Varnashrama Dharma is based on trust. It is not based on rules. It is based on trust and love. Wherever trust is breached, you're not able to repose trust. I just gave an example of a guru. I just gave an example of a sannyasi. I saw one person was sexually abused. Sannyasi, sexually abused. Now, how that person, if someone is reading that, then there's a breach of trust there. There's a breach of trust. I trusted you. This is how you will be. I left all my trust in the material world to come to ISKCON. And now here also, my trust was breached. Now, where will this person go? Where will this person go? To come to spiritual Krishna consciousness is very difficult because you have to lose your faith in the material world. Now here, I breach my trust. I'm talking about myself. If I breach my trust on someone, then this is very bad. It's very bad for me, I'm saying. So that's what I wanted to say. So I'll stop here. Any comments are welcome. Sorry if I misspoke or spoke over my adhikar or something, but I'm a work in progress. I spoke this for my own self so that I become a good, cog in the wheel. So I can function as a good part of society. So at some point, if I had offended you, So, thanks for question. So, there is a very nice word in Bhagavatam in many places. Yatha matihi yatha shakti. So everyone will say, I'm telling you whatever my intelligence allows me and whatever I have ability for, yatha shakti. So the Varnashrama Dharma, what I'm talking about is what is there in the Bhagavatam. What is there in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Right? So Mahaprabhu, everyone is respecting Mahaprabhu as a sannyasi, how they relate to a sannyasi. I mean, it's not just the rules, it's how I relate, how I talk, how I take inspiration, what is my outlook towards them, what is my goal of life. Because as I said, the criteria of Varnashrama Dharma is how much one has sacrificed for Krishna. This is the criteria. This is the criteria. And based on this criteria, there is taratamya, there is gradation. Based on one's sacrifice for Krishna, there is gradation. So it's very, in one sense, it's very common sense actually. It's very common sense. But I should understand, because Prabhupada did not have time to implement Varnashrama Dharma as much, because he had much to do, and Prabhupada, Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj writes in his book, there's 50% of my this left. But the way I see it as Varnashrama Dharma is a little more practical, not just, there is farm communities, this, that's also there. But I see it in a more practical way. Wherever I am, in my own society, so in my own functioning, like for instance, I'm living close to Farmington Hills, Radha Gopi Chanavallabha temple. I have people who are renounced around me. I have devotees, around me. Now, based on the situation I am in right now, I can follow a certain subset of Varnashrama Dharma, whatever I can. I can definitely follow. And what will that do? That will make my spiritual life simpler. That will make my chanting simpler. Okay, like for instance, so there is a husband and a wife. They both buy a 800K house. Okay, and because of the 800K house they're buying, both of them struggling hard, working 2 jobs. The wife is working 2 jobs, not 2% working 2 jobs. Same person is working 2 jobs. Because to get that 800K house, not his best. Now, because of not following Varnashrama properly, in the sense, the husband desired more. The husband did not check the necessities. And the wife has to struggle more hard, and the children are not being taken care properly. This whole lack of Varnashrama Dharma here is calling the family, causing it very difficult to make the family practice Krishna consciousness. Now, there is a structure there where the husband is there, he's cool as a cucumber. The wife is also very happy, right? Whatever, if she has to work for some time, maybe she's doing a very easy job, or she's not working, and the children are being taken care of properly. The children are very nice, gentle children, like Mukunda, right? So very gentle children. And this is very favorable for Krishna consciousness. The father can chant peacefully. The father can chant peacefully now. Now, say I'm a grasta, now I interact with a very practical level. Right? The mind, whenever it reads Shastra, it can make it very impractical and make it so this is all I cannot. But there is a practical side of Shastra which we can do in my own current situation. It need not be 1 or 0. It need not be 1 or 0. Yatha mati, yatha shakti. And if I do yatha shakti, whatever I can, then that Shakti Krishna will increase. And this is not antagonistic. It is not, it is against. They both are one and the same actually. They both are one and the same. If there is an extra stress on the Varnashrama Dharma, which puts Krishna consciousness in the back thing, that you have to give it up. Whatever is avritam, jnana karmadi anavritam. So whatever karma avaranam, whatever covers bhakti, that has to be given up. Whatever does not cover bhakti should not be given. That is actually tat tamasam udahritam. That renunciation is the mode of. So whatever jnana covers one's bhakti should be given up. What is the jnana? Atma Paramatma Aikya Jnanam. To think that the soul and Krishna are the same, this type of jnanam, this jnanam is there in the Ahangara Upasana of the Upanishad, Bhagavatam is there. But this type of jnanam covers one's bhakti. So this jnanam is tyajyam. This jnanam is tyajyam. But whatever is jnana karmadi anavritam should not be given up. This jnanam, I'm not the soul, I'm not the body, I'm the soul. Prabhupada is saying, this is jnanam. Should this be given up? No. Why? Because this is not jnana karmadi anavritam. This is bhakti poshanam. This will actually nourish bhakti. Why should that be given up? It should not be given up. Same thing with karma. If I'm satisfying my spiritual master, if I'm satisfying, I'm thinking the sake of Krishna. Now, you can say this is Varnashrama Dharma. Okay? Many people come to the temple and they pay obeisance to Kishore Prabhu. Why are they doing it? Because they have a system where if I see a monk, I have to offer obeisance. Now, because of being a part of the system, they're unknowingly doing Bhagavad Dharma. The system is bringing them closer to Bhagavata Dharma. Is it not? Is the thing. So Varnashrama Dharma makes it easier to come to Bhagavata Dharma in many cases. In some cases, it actually offers a impediment. At those times, when it has to be given up. So how do we know? Krishna will give intelligence. If someone is sincere. Bhagavad Gita, 18th chapter. Sve sve karmani abhirataha. I do not know the shloka number. Thank you. Grandraj. Very nice point. Yeah. Very nice point. Interdependence. So, because dependence is usually seen with a sense of slavery, but very nice. Yeah, I mean, this is based on love and trust. You know, you can't basically say, hey, you are a Stree, I married you, follow Stree Dharma. This will not work. Hey, you are a spiritual, you are a disciple. You know, it cannot be commanded. It cannot be demanded, I'm sorry. Yeah, so it will not work. Hey, you are a child. I mean, it's been in Kali Yuga, it will not work. In previous yugas, maybe I do not know, or maybe in the earlier part of Kali Yuga. But as much as possible, I must take my own personal responsibility. Have faith in the words of the Shastras. These words of the Shastras, I must not isolate. Okay, this is all good, this is not bad. Not like that. I have to take it in completeness. This rules, because when you talk about character, Prabhupada was talking about character. But how do we know what is character? Because my character must be such that it must get me to there. So I take my character building exercises from the words of Shastra. Whatever Devahuti is saying, behaving as a wife, that if I was a wife, this is how I must behave. However, Kardama Muni is as a Brahmana, this is how I must also be. Because Brahmana's body is meant for tapas. This is what Spayam Manu is saying. Oh, Kardama Muni, you are an amazing Brahmana. Amazing, great. So I must take it upon myself, take it as an example from this. This is how I must be as a disciple. This is how I must be as a brahmachari. This is how I must be as this. This is how I must be as a grihastha. In this way, I must take value lessons directly from the lessons of Srimad Bhagavatam, because this is the basis of this character is different and the basis of some other character is different. That character will make me, a decent person to live in this world and come back to this world. But if I mold my character based on Bhagavatam's principles, then this Bhagavatam's principle will take me somewhere else. Mahat sevam dwaram ahuvimutte tamo dwaram yoshitam sangi sangi. So if it is Mahat sevam dwaram, this is different dwaram. That is, all value systems are not the same. These value systems are in the mode of pure goodness. Some value systems might be in the mode of passion. Like people in today's corporate world, they have a value system, they have a morality, they think of character as something, but that is the mode of passion, because that value system is specifically built to just generate more revenue. If the revenue is checked, that value system can be changed. But this value system is changeless because the place where it takes us is also changed. Anyway, thank you so much for the opportunity. And again, this is I have a lot of work to do in this regard on my personal end. And I just spoke about this to remind myself of the responsibility I have. If I again misspoke something, please forgive me. Gandharaj Bhashiman Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Dandavarpanam.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Dandavarpanam. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Krishna Dandavat Pranam.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.